Today, we're talking about all the Star Wars news that's happening. The Mandalorian trailer, the new Star Wars trailer for The Rise of Skywalker. And my mic is muted. Screw me, dude. Today, we're talking about all Star Wars news, the Mandalorian trailer, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker trailer, and Game of Thrones writers exiting out of the new Star Wars trilogy. Guys, say hi.
Hello, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
And Colton,
I've been saying hi. I thought my mic was muted.
All right, so let's start off. Let's just get right to it. So the new Star Wars Rise of the Last Jedi, or not Rise of the Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, was released, and I gotta say, I'm pretty excited for it. It looks better than the other last two that were released. What do you guys think from watching the trailer?
I'm pretty excited for it. I'm excited for it to really end, I guess, is really what I'm excited for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming for. I'm kind of just done with the whole, Skywalker's, just line. I feel like we could go off and do some other stuff in the universe, like the Old Republic is very cool and just
That would be really cool.
It would be. Or anything like that. I don't know. Something that's not connected to Skywalker or Jabba the Hutt or anything that's connected to the current universe. I don't know. Something that, I feel like Disney just needs to do a hard reboot.
Right.
I mean, I definitely think they're already kind of starting to branch out with live-action versions of the Star Wars series. The Mandalorian that we're going to talk about is kind of a first step in that. Unfortunately, Solo didn't really pan out too well for them, so they've kind of done a stop with that. I know they canceled a lot of the spin-offs because Solo didn't do that well, but hopefully this and the Mandalorian will do really well, and it'll give them more confidence, I guess, to try some new things with Star Wars, and then hopefully fans will be understanding hey, we're just trying to finish the story so we can do new stories,
Did you guys watch Solo?
I did.
Yeah. I watched it when it was on Netflix.
I actually really like Solo.
Me too.
I enjoyed it. I didn't understand the hate.
Yeah, I don't.
Me neither. That's all I got.
I still don't think that guy looked anything like Harrison Ford, but
No,
really
and I didn't really see anything wrong with it though.
No,
I mean,
I think he did fine, and it was
Yeah.
cool to see young Lando and all that.
Just want to make a quick shout out to Brandon and Ryan and thank them for joining our live stream. They're listening. But yeah, no, I don't understand why people hated Solo. I feel like the actor got too much heat for the dumbest reasons. Oh, he doesn't look like Han Solo. He's not Harrison Ford. So, why is he,
I mean, the fans in general have been really nasty about these last three movies.
Right.
Pretty much all the new actors in these series have been attacked.
No,
Yeah.
honestly, it's
Daisy
kinda...
Ridley left social media because she was just attacked on social media.
Yeah, and it's...
That actress who played Rose, they hated her.
I didn't like her. I didn't harass her.
But
yeah,
yeah.
I didn't think it was a role that was deserved hating like that. I mean,
Yeah.
It just it was just forced. It didn't need to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just there's a lot I feel like in the last movie. I like the last movie, but it wasn't mind blowing. I enjoyed it. I can watch it, be like, oh, it's a good movie. But I feel like there's so much in there that they put in that did not need to be in. The horse thing.
Keeping Leia alive. Leia should be dead.
To be honest, they didn't even have to need to blow her up in the first place or anything like that.
I think she should have died in space because that goofy force flying it through space. I laughed. I couldn't take it seriously.
I thought it was okay. I feel like if they wanted to show her using that she can use the force, they could have done something else. Honestly,
I thought the whole point is that she was just force sensitive, but I mean, whatever.
I know, Christian. You've read you're totally into Star Wars. She's force sensitive. I know she's force sensitive, but does she ever use the force in anything else? Do you know?
What do you mean?
So like in the books or in the other stuff that the other content in the media, does Leia ever come back and use the Force? Was the first time we've ever seen it?
Oh, Leia. They really don't have her in the comic books, at least.
Right.
And the comic books don't really touch on the new stuff at all. Like, it's nothing about the current universe or anything like that. It's all about the old trilogies, the first trilogy, 4, 5, 6. I mean,
Right.
because they know that everybody loves that, and it's that's what sells.
Right. Another shout out to Hudson. Thanks for watching.
Oh, my boy.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just it's interesting to me that I don't know. So J.J. Abrams did come out when they first announced that he was going to direct this new one, because he directed the first one out of this trilogy, that he's basically going to fix everything that Rian Johnson messed up in the last one. Because I feel like, I don't know, me personally, I do not like what Ryan. It felt like Rian Johnson was like making fun of Star Wars. It felt like he felt like he didn't care. Like
But it feels like to me, from the trailer I've seen, like what I've seen out of the trailer, who was it? It was Rian Johnson, right?
Rian Johnson was the director of The Last Jedi.
Yeah, it felt like that he kind of like kicked all his characters away, like Poe and all of them kicked them to the side. And now that he's coming back, that he's going to kick all his characters like Rose. Rose is only one scene, and it's just her, like a close up of her face at like a base. It looks like they were leaving.
Yeah.
So like they're going to leave her right away.
If you look at the last movie, it's like Rian Johnson just took all the build up from The Force Awakens and everything that everyone was looking forward to, and was like, nope, forget it. And it's like, I feel that like you don't do that at all. Like,
and
killing Snoke off the
I will say I liked it just because of the shock factor, and we needed
some
kind of shock
I mean,
factor
it was cool with shock factor, but I feel like you could have done it in different ways, especially with like J.J. Abrams came out and said, in this movie we're gonna find out who Rey's parents are. They are important. Basically, totally forgetting whatever Kylo Ren's saying. Oh, you're not important. Your parents are just nobodies. Because like
maybe it's gonna be like something he didn't know or something.
Yeah, so
but yeah.
It's interesting. Shout out to Brandon Rodriguez. He says that they should do movies based on the Old Republic, which we talked about, and I would see those immediately. Or he says even the beginning of the Jedi Order. That'd be pretty cool.
All that stuff is all fan made, so I don't know if they would feel like they would use the fan stuff or just create their own universe, because it's Disney. I don't know, Disney's not a big fan of fan made stuff,
Yeah, and they did they retconned the whole extended universe, didn't they?
Yeah, which is basically all fan made.
Yeah, so
100%.
I don't know. Someone who hasn't talked, Jerry, what do you think about all of this?
Honestly, I just think that people are kind of stuck on the original trilogy and the original kind of like settings and characters, and that's just kind of keeping things stuck from progressing, because I think a lot of Star Wars loyalists are kind of just stuck on what we know, what the characters that have been around for these past couple decades, and people aren't kind of moving forward from it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, now you bring it up, I feel like, so like Galaxy's Edge just opened, and I went, and it's awesome, it's amazing, but the controversy is from the new fans, well, not the new fans, but like the fans that know how to move on and the fans that don't, sort of thing.
Well, that's the thing. They have fans from 3 generations.
Yeah. And
they have fans from the first trilogies, the second trilogies, and now the third trilogy.
Right.
And of course, everybody's the first trilogies are the older people that have the money, and
yeah,
so they get the loudest call. But
and so that's like what I find a little bit annoying is that, you know, like obviously everyone loves the first trilogy. The first trilogy is awesome, it's amazing, but like you gotta move on. You can't if you keep adding to if they would have made this like new trilogy that they're making, and this like instead of Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and all that, and they would have just like made it movies in between or like a little bit before, a little bit after the original series. I feel like people would still be as angry because they're touching things that are so precious to them. It's like no one can really like I don't know. No one's happy. It's like with anything that they do, and it's something I'm starting to notice with a lot of fan bases with Marvel, like Sonic, Star Wars, like all those fan bases. It's like, oh, we want new stuff, but not too new, and also like keep this, but don't keep this in there, and like it's weird and like annoying, you know?
Yeah, it's weird with the Sonic movie because I feel like they were aiming that one towards kids,
Right.
and the fans are like, no, this is for us.
Well, yeah. Well, so like I actually just saw a meme about that. It said it was the new design that we talked about in the last live stream. It was about it said all right, everyone that complained about how he looked and got his design changed better be lined up on the day one of his movie to go see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because people will just complain to complain, and that's it. They don't really care. They just want to complain about things. Someone asked, "Are they going to create a movie based on Obi-Wan Kenobi's life?" No, they're not doing the movie, but they're making the Disney Plus series, which is going to be.
I don't know how interesting it would be because
Bro, it don't matter. It's going to be Ewan McGregor.
Because they have comic books, and in the comic books that just like did a fast time lapse of what he did, it's usually just like saving baby sand people and helping sand people. Like he was like a god to the sand people.
Honestly, I feel like
trying to see a young General Grievous.
I think they'll touch on that, but I also think
General Grievous was a cool one. He was like a bounty hunter, yeah.
I think they're gonna do the whole sand people story. But they're also going to add things that, you know, new stuff, new content, because they have to.
I'm okay if they decide not to go with their comic book, even though it's Disney, so I guess it's canon, but if they decide just to throw it away within a year, that's fine.
I mean, yeah, they can do whatever they want. And supposedly it's supposed to be 6 episodes as well. So.
And that's the whole thing with me. To me, canon doesn't matter. It's just, if I want it in the universe, it's in the universe for me.
Right.
That's how I've always looked at that kind of stuff.
You're a rare breed.
I know. No, it's in it for me. It's alright. I like it.
Yeah. I don't know. So, like, okay, so let's talk about, I feel like, the huge elephant of this trailer that I feel like we're all super excited about. Freaking Emperor Palpatine returning. What do you guys think about that?
I don't think he'll be actually
like a fan service thing.
Yeah,
I think it's like a.
I feel like it's gonna be how they did it.
He's gonna be like speaking to.
Yeah.
I can't even think of his name now. Oh boy, Kylo. That's who it is.
So
it's gonna be that, or it's gonna be like the robot from the machine from the game. How they had like his head like portrayed on the robot.
So I noticed they destroyed Darth Vader's old helmet at some point. So. Really getting rid of that.
So,
then,
well, yeah. So, from what I saw is that Kylo Ren is supposed to pieces his helmet back together with pieces of Darth Vader's helmet in this one.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I don't
then
know how that would work, but we'll see.
They'd be different colors.
A piece of plastic on pieces of metal.
But so. I thought the same thing, too, about Emperor Palpatine. Like, okay, he's returning, but he's not. But from what J.J. Abrams came out several times with people asking Q&As and stuff about this. He said, no, he is returning. Like, full-on returning. Like, it's not a Force ghost, nothing. And he's supposed to have a huge role. So it's shocking.
Well,
I don't know about that.
I know in the what's it called? There's a book about him and his
that boy not die?
master Plagueis. and Plagueis was into like genetics and dark magic kind of stuff with cloning and living forever. That's why the wise tale of Darth Plagueis and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was into trying to keep himself alive, and that's like the whole thing about that book is that's how Anakin is born, is
Right.
out of them being so dark. The light needed something, so the Force needed something even bigger than the darkness at that time.
We're supposed to balance the Force.
That's the whole thing of the Force. The Force is neutral. It's
No,
good and bad.
yeah.
I mean, it's not really like a physical entity. It's just kind of there.
If there's too much bad, it's gonna put good. If there's too much good, it's gonna put bad.
So
that's why
Straight
at the
up
top
just
of
the Force.
at the top of the Jedi power, they decided like, all right, there's too much good. Now let's crumble it.
Right.
Kill all the kids.
So, the thing that I'm interested in, and so not in this trailer, but in the last trailer, they teased Rey going to the dark side with the double.
Bro, it's straight up a vision. That's not. I cannot fathom them revealing something like that in a trailer.
Yeah.
If it was an actual plot point.
Oh yeah.
There's no way. It's a vision.
So
it's gonna be like in the last movie where she had like several of those visions of her going like
right
in the hallway or something like that, and
it could also be a Kylo vision.
Right.
I would think she's gonna do something in the movie that's gonna like make her question herself. So she's gonna start having visions of her as a Sith, but it could be a Kylo thing. But like she's definitely not gonna.
Right.
Because people also thought the last movie they were going to end up switching roles, and that's how they're going to change the story, is that Kylo was going to end up coming to the light, and in turn, Rey would end up joining the dark side. There were a lot of people that thought that was going to happen by things they were doing in the trailer, but it didn't.
Something that I read, and this was just a rumor, but it's from a pretty good source. Christian, you're going to have to help me with this. What was the planet that Luke went to train with Yoda?
Dagobah.
Dagobah. Supposedly, they're supposed to return there, from what I read, and that people think that she's going to see herself as the dark side sort of thing, like on the dark side with the double blade. And she's going to fight herself.
Where Luke was,
Luke fought Darth Vader, and it was actually him, sort of thing.
Bro, not those.
Doesn't really make sense, just because Yoda just went there because it was just strong with the Force, because there's so many living creatures there, and it's just pure.
So we got a good comment, and they did tease this too. They said, "Do you think C-3PO will ever turn bad?" So they teased.
Pretty sure he's gonna die.
Thought it was a good idea to make C-3PO a main character out of the sudden. It just made no sense. Like, I don't feel like we need him to be a main plot point. He's not that interesting, honestly. I don't know.
I mean, they're definitely like, at least the way they've edited the trailer, trying to make you assume he's gonna die.
Right. Well, so they teased two things. They teased either he's going to die, or
I took that
there's
as
the other one. Right.
Uploaded into the ship.
Right. And then the other one was his eyes turn red. And
he just goes into instant kill mode.
I don't know. So it's interesting. I don't know what they're going to do. I feel like...
I was talking to my dad about that, and he said something about, that's how Palpatine will come back through him. And I was like, it could be, because he's been there in all
Bro,
their
can you
trilogies.
imagine?
He's been there since the beginning.
Right, it's true.
Can you imagine? C-3PO walks into a room, his eyes turn red, and then he goes, "I've returned. This is my comeback." I would walk out of the theater.
Well, honestly, I think that would take a lot of people by surprise.
But no one
made
would
that
like
tastefully. If they tastefully did it that way, I think that would really be a shock factor.
It would. That would.
But I mean,
don't
what
know.
the fan base has already proven is shock factor is not what they want. They
Yeah,
just
from
want
the last
things to be
movie.
different or be off.
Well, the shock factor in the last movie was a little bit different because it was like, oh, shock factor, but also forget everything that you just learned. And so like they could be like shock factor. Here's some new stuff instead. So another comment was, someone said that would be epic, and they thought it was going to be Jar Jar. That would return. Could you imagine though if Jar Jar made a return?
Misa back.
And canon, Jar Jar's with Palpatine all the way up towards the end. Like he's Palpatine's like left-hand man, besides the guy with like the horns that sits on his shoulder.
Are you serious?
I
Yeah,
just love
because
the
he
theory
was
of him
the
being a
ambassador for
Sith Lord.
Naboo, and Naboo is his home planet.
I had no idea.
So
I
he
just
kept
love
him like
that.
really close.
The theory of him being a Sith Lord is my favorite.
I was
Love
hoping it wasn't gonna come. It's like if
Bro,
that
what do you
happened,
mean? It is hilarious.
So
Makes sense too, bro. They brought up a lot of good points.
So excitement levels for this new one.
I'm not really. I'm keeping my expectations medium, just because the last movie hurt my feelings.
Right.
Like I said, I'm more excited for the Mandalorian than.
I feel like a lot of people are the same way. I feel like everyone's kind of like, because of what happened with the last movie. But what I think is going to happen is that they're like, we're kind of nervous about this, and then they're going to go in, and it's going to blow their minds because they weren't expecting any of it.
I mean, listen. I hope so. I hope it's outstanding. But right now, I'm just kind of on the fence. But I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Who do we think Rey's parents are? Do we think they're established characters? Or do you think it's going to be someone that they just kind of bring out from left field?
So my thing is,
So I don't think left field related to someone that is someone from the past, like someone's like granddaughter, like their parents or grandparents or someone.
Well, I mean, ever since Force Awakens, everyone's wanted her to be Skywalker's kid.
I don't
know
think
a lot
she's
of
a
people think
Skywalker.
that.
so that's the other thing. We don't think she's a Skywalker, but then why is it called The Rise of Skywalker?
Exactly. It's
She's
not
got to
Luke's
be.
gonna come
She's
back.
got to be a Skywalker. Oh, actually, supposedly J.J. Abrams is retconning that whole him disappearing thing.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, I told you, dude, he's like basically taking everything Ryan Johnson kind of messed up, and he's like, I'm fixing it somehow.
So are we essentially just ignoring that The Last Jedi ever happened?
Kinda, yes and
At
no.
this point?
Basically, J.J. Abrams is like, okay, I'm gonna keep some of the important parts, but most of it that no one liked, we're just gonna forget it ever happened.
I don't know. Rose is still in the movie, and people really didn't like her.
I didn't like Rose at all. I didn't like the whole stupid horse thing. I feel like they could have added something else.
The whole stupid horse thing, bro. In the trailer, they got horses riding on a ship in space.
In this one?
It's in the trailer. They're probably not on
they
an
got
actual
more
ship,
horses.
but they're
Well, I mean,
horses on a
I'm
ship.
fine with people riding horses. I feel like the whole, oh wow, we gotta release these horses so they're free because why not? It's not like, there's a ship that's about to explode or we're gonna die, kill all our family. It's like, I feel like it's useless. There's no reason. Like, I get what they were trying to say with there's people
I mean,
that
whole trip to the planet was kind of useless.
Yeah, no, I thought it was stupid. I feel like that whole thing could be cut out.
And they get all the way up to the guy, and then some random alien comes up. Oh yeah, it's them, and then they get arrested.
Yeah.
And meet the guy that helps them.
It was
in the
just like
prison. That
it was
really didn't
literally
help them.
it was really like a Star Wars political message, like about Star Wars.
And then he tried representing something like meaningful, saying
Yeah, like, oh, the rich
there's
don't
good
care.
and bad, yeah. And then he was like, well, no, you're bad either way. You were already in prison, and then you helped me out
Right.
get out of prison, and
It's
then
like-
you instantly get me out.
It's like
And then you also stole a ship, so no matter what you're doing, you're still a bad guy. I don't know what you mean. You're
to
still
me,
a
it's
bad
like,
guy.
dude, like if like we came here to watch Star Wars, like to literally get out of the world, to enjoy something like galaxy far, far away, a long time ago, and then you're throwing in this whole the rich control the war. It's like, no, shut up. I don't care.
Bro,
like
everything's gonna have a message. You know that.
I want to know about the Force and, what is this? Like, I loved, like, the whole concept of them running away from the First Order, I feel like is awesome. Like, it was intense, but, like, it just dropped when they went to that planet. It was like, why? Why is this happening? They totally could have... They could have done something else and skipped and sent Poe onto the First Order ship where Captain Phasma died, which she was a completely useless character.
They literally were like, hey, let's make a Chrome Stormtrooper and do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, no, seriously.
And her backstory is amazing.
Is it really? Maybe she'll get a Disney Plus show.
She basically she crash lands on this primitive planet.
Right, yeah.
And she basically makes them all like her king, like she's the king of this place, and like.
So why is her armor chrome? Do they explain that?
I don't think she was chrome at the time. I don't know why. I think it's just better armor.
I guess.
Yeah, people are agreeing that it was an amazing backstory. Hey, maybe we'll get a Disney Plus series. I feel like that is something like they could totally do that if they wanted to. To be honest,
I think they're waiting to see how The Mandalorian does and how their Disney Plus is going to go.
Right.
And because they've got all those Marvel shows lined up too.
Woo. Yeah, and they only have one, and it's only because obviously Marvel is doing amazing. Star Wars is on that. We like it; it's making a lot of money, but the fans are also like, we don't like it at the same time. So it's like that whole thing is like the Galaxy's Edge I was trying to say earlier is that the older fans are complaining, like the originals are like, oh, this isn't set in the original trilogy. What is this? This is stupid. You're trying to put the new trilogy down our throats. But then, like...
Do you think Carrie Fisher is going to be done in this one, finally?
She has to be. Like, her character, at least, has got to be.
Well, J.J. Abrams came out and said that he got the fans' permission, and Carrie Fisher, Leia, is alive throughout the movie. So, I feel like either they'll kill her off in a good way, or they'll just let her, like, basically, like, live her life. Like, basically, she'll just go on.
Die of old age.
Yeah. Like, just let her retire, basically, as general.
No one has died from old age in Star Wars.
It'll be the first one!
Literally, no one has died from old age in
Star Wars. I feel like, I feel like would be really touching?
Not even the Emperor.
I feel like what would be really touching is if Luke really is just a Force ghost, if he just comes back as Force ghost, whatever. If Luke and, like, Anakin basically, like, welcome her to become a Force ghost as well, and then it's, like, all of them. Kind of like how they did at the end of the, with Anakin and Obi-Wan looking at Luke, sort of thing. Because I feel like...
it was Anakin and Obi-Wan. Oh, wait, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I feel like it would be really touching because...
Because they changed Anakin.
Right.
Hayden Christensen, Emma.
And I feel like it would be really touching to have Luke and Leia, like, together at the end because of Carrie Fisher. But I don't know. But, like, also, I wish they could do something with to just say goodbye to Luke, Leia, and Han. Like, that'd be super cool. Like, that'd be really touching.
Force ghosts?
Bro, what do you mean? We already said goodbye to Han.
There will be no Force ghosts. I swear, there's Force ghosts.
We have comments saying in the comments. This is about what's her face? Chrome Dome. In the comments, she's Captain Phasma. She's a total bad butt, but the movies they portrayed her terrible. Disney Plus for sure. Noble sacrifice for Leia is what I'm thinking. If they land
such a great actor for that role, and
honestly, if they land this movie right and the whole trilogy, we're gonna need more tissues. And someone said, "Do you think that Obi-Wan's ever going to come back in a Star Wars movie?" I don't think Obi-Wan will come back in a Star Wars movie. I mean, I feel like they'll have references like in the last one where you could hear him talking.
I tell you what, if you look at the second trilogies as a Obi-Wan Kenobi origin story, they're way better.
Oh, I guarantee.
Way better.
I love Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm so excited for the new series.
Don't look at it as like a Darth Vader or Anakin Skywalker because it's not.
Just ignore Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
Does anyone have anyone want to talk anything else about the next Star Wars movie? Jerry, do you have any thoughts before we move on to the next topic?
No, I'm pretty much good. I think everything sounds.
Really I will say that I'm pretty excited. Honestly, the more I talk about it, the more I think about it, I'm excited.
I definitely
because
won't rush out to see it.
there is
Yeah, no.
there is the shot that I'm so interested in seeing, and it's over the shoulder of what looks like Palpatine, but he's gigantic, and he's looking down at Rey. So
See, I took that as like it's gonna be like a mummification of him or something like that.
You
or
think
he's
so?
gonna be- yeah, I don't know because it gets really weird in the Star Wars universe.
Right.
They touch on like everything.
Well, I did see people were talking about, like, someone was making fun of people complaining about Palpatine coming back. They were saying like, "Oh, you're complaining about Palpatine coming back," but in the extended universe or whatever that they totally retconned, I guess Palpatine has clones of himself.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's like,
I just like this.
And everyone was okay with
but
that.
that's already established. They're gonna bring something up that's already established is kind of weird.
right.
I like this crazy looking throne they got going on in that trailer.
I love it. It's
Spikes.
I guess
going on
yeah,
the
it's
side
like
that's
an original.
so. That is actually super cool. It's the original concept art for Palpatine's throne from like the very first Star Wars movies. So they went back to the original concept and they
Same
made
thing
it
with
real.
the horse. Those horses.
Yeah,
It's the one. They look the same thing as one of the concept arts from
Right.
the original movies.
I always
Super
thought
cool.
if I saw horses in Star Wars, it'd be with Wookiees on Kashyyyk.
I think it
No,
would
you
be
get
cool.
weird
Tons of hair.
dragonfly planes.
Right. Oh, so the other thing is there's that one shot of Rey and Kylo, and they totally like hit this thing. This like I don't know. They both attack, and they hit this like I don't know.
It's Darth Vader's mask.
No, it's like this giant statue, and it turns to dust. I don't know what it is, but
Bro,
Oh.
it's
You know
literally
what I'm talking
Darth
about?
Vader's mask.
Yeah, it looks like Darth Vader's like skull. I don't know. That looks like something that could be like in a dream too.
yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. All right.
I don't know.
So let's move on to the next thing, and this I'm way more excited for than the movie. I think every single one of us is here is excited about this. The Mandalorian for Disney Plus.
Just excited for something
Holy
new.
crap! So watching
Besides
this,
that, it's on what planet? It's on Tatooine, right? Is that what we? already established?
I don't know. I don't know about that. You would probably know more about that than I do. From what I do know is that myself, I know other fans that I've read are getting like the vibes that they wanted for the Star Wars trilogy now. Like this is what I wanted Star Wars to feel like intense like this, like not really I don't know, Disneyfied, I guess. Does that make any sense?
Adventure movie.
Yeah, like I
And
like
this
this dark, gritty sort of, but like also has a little bit of adventure to it. Like I don't know, it has
I'm
a
hoping it's
Star
more-
Wars feeling to it, if that makes sense.
I'm hoping it's going to be like a bounty hunter theme, so where it's going to be like a detective type movie, which
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
100%
I mean,
fine
bounty
with.
hunting doesn't always denote detective. But
Oh yeah, no, but
So from what
I'm okay with a detective
from-
Star Wars instead of an action-packed adventure.
right, from what I get from it is that I feel like it's gonna be like a mix of, obviously not as dark, but the Marvel Netflix shows, how they're kind of dark, like because there's that one shot where he pulls one of the guys with like his grappling hook and he's like pulling him back and the guy's like clawing trying not to get away or whatever.
oh my god, I just realized that Angel Dust is in this. Watching the trailer again.
Oh, and
Gina Carano.
I feel like it's gonna have I don't know.
That's what I like about it. Like I don't know. I'm excited to see.
Yeah. So like
it's
I lost my
something
train
new.
of thought.
It's just weird to see a Mandalorian as bounty hunters because they're not
Right.
like favored to be bounty hunters. They're pretty loyal to Mandalore. They don't usually leave
Right.
the planet Mandalore.
Oh, I remember. I was
So
gonna
it's
say.
like,
even
oh yeah,
more-
there's
Even
I-
more exciting things to learn about, like why this Mandalorian
yeah,
is
exactly.
Right.
breaking the.
And I get the from the action scenes, I get Rogue One action scene feelings from it. And I loved Rogue One. I don't know about anyone
I
else.
totally forgot about Rogue One.
I loved Rogue One
I
because
liked
I
it too.
loved
I totally forgot about
because
it.
it wasn't like the adventure Jedi side. It was the like war the dark war side, like people
literally
blowing up, like
took a sentence
terrifying.
from a movie and made it a book. I mean,
a
a
book.
Yeah,
No, yeah.
I made a book of it too, but
Right, and like and one thing I'm already shocked at about this trailer, if you look, is that there's blood on some of the stormtroopers' masks, like from the heads being impaled on the stakes and stuff like that.
yeah, but that's like dried blood. That's not like.
But still,
actually,
that
like
this is
the
this.
most we'll get out of them is a cut limb, and that's how Star Wars has always been.
I know, but what I'm saying is that it's on Disney Plus, and them even showing that to where it's just
But they've already
interesting.
said it's PG-13. They're not doing any rated R stuff.
Well, they've always the excuse they've always used for why Star Wars doesn't have any blood is that because of the weapons they use, it basically immediately
cauterizes everything. Except for the first Star Wars movie where Obi-Wan cuts the guy's arm off in the bar.
Yeah.
We have a comment saying, yeah, there's few that leave Mandalore. If I remember correctly, it's because of exile or they want to do something else. Super rare it happens, though. And then he says, it's ketchup, guys. And then someone else said, do you think the next Star Wars movie will be better than The Force Awakens? Maybe. I think it'll be better than both of them, to be honest. But yeah, no,
I feel like it has to be if they want the Star Wars universe to survive.
Well, yeah.
Fan base.
Well, what I feel like is that Disney realizes that they can't create their own things like original, like Rey, Poe, all that. Like they're great characters, but people are more interested in the background of Star Wars.
The already established.
Established things, and I feel like that's what the next set of movies and stories is going to be. Like this, like The Mandalorian, right here. It takes place like with stormtroopers. They're not the First Order. So this is like it's already established, this character, this universe. So it's like, okay, we don't have to learn new things. We're not being force fed these new characters, these new rules about things anymore, and like we can just chill out and enjoy something and like learn more about the universe that we already love.
That's where I love the books. The books, you get so much story in them. Like they have a new Admiral Thrawn book series.
Yeah,
which it's all about the Empire and how the Empire works for enters, like the politics and how there's governors and what the governors' really roles are, and like, just how the whole universe works.
Yeah,
he like kicks Darth Vader's butt at one point.
Well, I have a question. This has nothing to do with The Mandalorian, but it does have to do with Star Wars. Do you guys think that, since we're talking about them going back and doing things in the established universe, because I feel like that's what they're learning, is that people love the books, they love the comics, they love the original like trilogy, so Disney's
Most
like, okay, hold on.
Will make good soap dramas.
Exactly, so they're like, hold on. People love stuff that's already in the universe, but that they haven't learned about. Yeah. So let's make stuff about that instead of making new stuff in a universe they already know about. Like, they don't care. They'll maybe new stuff later in the future. But what do you think, if they're doing this, that they'll ever touch on what's it called? The Star Wars game. Help me out here. The
Force Unleashed?
Yeah, The Force Unleashed.
No, I think they're just gonna ignore that.
Yeah, you think so?
Well, they'd have to bring Darth Vader back because Starkiller is Darth Vader's like protege.
Well, it could be a Star Wars story, like they did with Solo and.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I can't think of his name right now, but
it's Starkiller, right? Starkiller.
Yeah,
no, I mean the actor who plays him. I know. I guarantee he'd be down. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's something that a large audience really wants.
Because I feel like
think they would invest off of a game.
Well, my thing is that
I'm interested in seeing like a backstory into clones, like Clone Commandos or something like that.
I already know people that
learn
would
more about the clones.
Pay $1 billion to go see clone stuff.
Exactly. That's why.
And
they are. I see the cartoons like 100 times.
Right. Yeah, and they're bringing back the series.
Yeah, George Lucas was pretty hands-on with the cartoon when it was on Cartoon Network. So I don't know.
Right.
We'll see who's hands-on this one. I haven't seen anything.
Just trying to see a Darth Maul movie.
He did so well too in the freaking Han Solo.
And Han Solo. So do you think they'll bring back, bring him back in Obi-Wan?
No, because they killed him in the cartoons. And they could redo it, but
I mean,
don't see.
I'm telling you now, I don't think anyone would complain, unless they did it wrong, if they had a live action Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul fight again, where they kill him off. I feel like people will be okay with that.
Well, if they do an Obi-Wan and they want to include Maul, it would have
Then
to
he'd
be
have to top the one
he
where
was like a child.
Him
He
and
was killed by
Qui-Gon
Qui-Gon
Jinn.
Jinn.
Yeah. You can't
Well,
top
he gets
that
cut
one.
in half by Qui-Gon Jinn, I mean.
So, what's interesting about The Mandalorian is that, does anyone know who's playing him?
Yeah, it's the guy that did.
Because I don't know.
What? It's.
I mean, he's gonna be wearing a mask the entire time. So.
Yeah, probably for him, but
Are Mandalorians humanoid face-wise? Clearly, body-wise.
Yeah, no, they look human. They're pretty much humans.
Okay, so I know Star Wars, but I don't know Star Wars at the same time. So help me out here.
There's so much Star Wars. I think that's everybody.
Well, Christian, was what's it called? Jango Fett and Boba Fett, were they Mandalorian? I know they.
So Boba Fett.
I know he was. I know Boba Fett was the clone of Jango, but was Jango?
Yeah, he was exiled for whatever reason.
So they were Mandalorian. That's why the helmet and everything.
Yeah, because in Mandalore, they're a neutral. They're peaceful now because they're a planet of war, and eventually they just basically almost ruined themselves to extinction. So they banned war and kicked all the warriors to the moon. And to slowly die, and they've been slowly dying there for like hundreds of years. That's the whole kind of lore to them.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then eventually they find weapons to get more weapons and power and stuff. And that's where Darth Maul he lands on the moon and recruits them.
Right.
It's interesting.
So obviously we don't really know. I don't think we know a lot about the Mandalorian story. I don't think they've released a synopsis or anything like that, or what's happening. It comes out really soon, November 12th. So, what do you guys think? The main story is going to be? What do you think is going to happen?
I'm sure that he's going to hit a bounty contract. He's going to be like, "All right, I'm gonna go collect this bounty," and then there's going to be something major that happens. Lando shows up, so clearly there's something going on.
A female role. There has to be a strong female role.
Yeah, it's Gina Carano.
Oh, is it there? I didn't even see it.
I mean, they show this girl multiple times in the trailer.
I'm not noticeable about that stuff. I just see her like, oh yeah, I don't know. I didn't notice her at all.
I really don't know. I mean, it might also just be like a patchwork of a couple different stories. It could be just like a time lapse of things the Mandalorian's doing, and then there's just like a loose kind of plot in the background that kind of pieces together. We'll have to wait, because the trailer doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't look like any stuff is connected to the trailer.
Yeah, no. It looks like the story of a Mandalorian bounty hunter.
So, I have a strong feeling that it's going to start off intense. I feel like they'll start it off with a great action scene to pull people in for the first episode. To be like, oh snap, this is awesome, sort of thing, instead of super slow, blah blah blah. I feel like it'll start off with him on a bounty, and that would be super cool. Though, one character I'm really excited to meet. I don't know the name, but the droid. The droid looks dope.
Oh, I-88 or IX-88 or whatever. Yeah.
Isn't he a bounty hunter?
So he's not the one. It's like his brother or twin or something like that. It's not the
Can
same.
droids have siblings?
No, but they're only that one is there's only a couple that were made.
True. So the actor, we got a comment. The actor's name is Pedro Pascal. He's played in Game of Thrones, the last Kingsman movie.
Yep.
And
Narco.
I need to watch that too.
Oh, it's a good movie.
Dishonored 2. He's in that.
I can believe that.
So what I want to ask is I think it's Bosk or Bask or something like that, but there's characters of that same race in this trailer, that like lizard kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you think there's going to be other like established Star Wars bounty hunters that show up in this? Like, I know he's a bounty hunter. I know there's a couple other ones.
Oh, I guarantee it. It'll be like competition.
If it's on Tatooine, yeah, 100%.
It'll be like competition.
But I don't know how much. They can't give us too much, I feel like, the first season. Or at least I'm hoping they're not.
I'm also interested to see what like surprise cameos there are going to be.
Yeah.
Because there's got to be some.
Oh yeah, especially with it being like set back then.
Exactly. I feel like Jabba's gonna show up. I don't know why.
Oh,
I just feel like he's gonna
okay.
like walk through and see Jabba.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah, I can see that happening.
Or he's gonna get a contract from Jabba or something.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Like he's a crime lord, so I feel like it's definitely gonna be there.
Okay, so after the stories of Jango and Boba Fett, another warrior emerges in the Star Wars universe. The Mandalorian is set after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order. We follow the travails of a lone...
So it's in between the last two trilogies.
A lone gunfighter in the outer reaches of the galaxy far from the authority of the New Republic. Which, now that I remember, it's supposed to be... We're supposed to see how the First Order like comes to be in this series as well. Like, it's not going to be like focused on that, but we're going to see it.
We will figure out who that boy Snoke is.
What'd you say, Christian?
So it's going to be like an outer rim.
Yeah, and then I think it's going to be 8 or 9 episodes. I think it's going to be 8 episodes.
They're probably going to be like an hour long.
Though. Oh yeah, of course. I think there'd be an hour, but I think it's confirmed they're an hour. But Disney's not doing the whole release all at once thing. They're doing it release every week. So that's going to be interesting. Which I feel like it's going to hype people even more, like more exciting. Because it's kind of genius because it's going to get people to talk about it all the time. Like, oh crap, did you like Game of Thrones? How all the time when the episode come out on the last season, people were just freaking out. So it's going to be cool. I don't know, I'm excited for all of it. I'm excited to learn about this character. I'm excited for I don't know. You know, there's so much happening, especially with Disney Plus. It's just like, it's kind of overwhelming. Like, how are we supposed to watch all this?
Have you guys seen the new Watchmen show?
No, but people hate it, so.
Really? Because I heard people love it.
I love it,
It lost like 200,000 viewers.
Oh, really?
It has nothing to do with the old movie, but I'm 100% fine with that if that's the problem.
I've never been really interested in Watchmen, so I haven't really paid attention.
Yeah.
They're going to make tons of Marvel movies, bro. Keith. Or Ryan. That was your real name, I'm sorry. They probably have like 10 years worth of Marvel movies planned up.
Oh yeah, they already released Phase 4 has a bunch of Marvel movies. But this is Star Wars. We're talking about Star Wars right now. So do you guys think that... So this is about Mandalorian. So since Galaxy's Edge is set like in, I guess, present time Star Wars, I don't know what era you would say, the new era. Do you think we'll even see this character walking around at all?
Of course.
I mean, I think at a theme park they don't really care.
Yeah, no, because they have Darth Vader and Rey there, so why?
Well, Darth Vader doesn't show up in Galaxy's Edge. He shows up in Hollywood Studios. There's Star Wars Launch Bay, which is on the other side of the park, and it's kind of like film props and sets and stuff like that. And then you can do character.
All I gotta say is, a really good fan, they don't really have to pay that much attention.
I think if people like the character enough, they'll.
I'm okay with taking a picture of Rey and Darth Vader at the same time.
I feel like he'll show up, but I feel like it won't be in Galaxy's Edge. And if they do, so I have this feeling that Disney will do this thing where it's like, okay, for this year, Galaxy's Edge is set in this era, and then this year, like 2021, it's gonna be set in the original trilogy because it's supposed to be able where they can do whatever they want with it, basically, sort of thing. Especially having the Millennium Falcon there, they could do whatever, except for prequels, obviously, because
Who would want to do them?
yeah. I don't know. I'd like to see clone troopers walking around. That'd be so freaking cool.
I don't know. Coruscant would be a cool place. I don't know for
That'd be
prop.
so cool.
With all this shops
Do you
and
think?
stuff.
Do you
know,
think
buy
they'll
some
visit
vests.
Coruscant and the Mandalorian? You think they'll visit other planets?
Oh, 100%. He's a bounty hunter. He's going to be everywhere.
Well, yeah. Well, do you think
That's
they'll
what
go
I'm
to like?
hoping. I'm hoping he's not bound to this one planet.
No, I don't think so. I think
I-
he'll go to
I'm
other
okay if
places.
he's
I mean,
bound.
even in the trailer, it looks like he's in different locations.
Yeah,
Okay.
but like, I want to know if they're going to go to locations we already know, like Coruscant and stuff like that. Because
I'm
obviously,
okay with them making new places too.
yeah. Well, I'm totally cool with that too. But it'd be cool to just see like, oh, like this is what happened to this place or whatever. So do you think they'll talk about in the series, like, since this takes place in between the two trilogies, do you think that they'll talk about Luke, Leia, or like reference any of that, like, oh, the Jedi or blah 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 blah? Blah.
I don't think, because they aren't really showing any sort of like rebel characters. I think like there'll
And I
probably be
don't-
background conversations, or like someone will be like, "Oh, well, if it wasn't for Skywalker, blah blah blah," but now I need. But I don't think they're going to be like an underlying thing that's constant is them talking about, because I think they're really trying to separate this from
Yeah.
what they've got going on.
Right.
At least that's what-
Someone asked, do you think they'll upgrade the suits for the stormtroopers, like make a new design? I don't think they'll make a new design because it's
I think
set
they'll
back
throw
then.
in some extra types of stormtroopers.
Yeah, so I feel like stormtroopers that we've only seen in video games and in comics, we'll see make a first appearance on screen, but I don't think they'll change. They're not going to change the design of stormtroopers. No way. Also, Jon Favreau, dude, directing this movie. Holy crap, man! He has so much on his plate. He just got done with Lion King, which I watched, and I feel I liked it. I don't know why people didn't like it. Honestly, I was sitting there the whole time though, being like, what? How is this not real? Because the graphics were like kind of intense. But you know, this is crazy. Like, how do you go? Like, basically, Disney was like, hey, we're gonna give you our most like beloved franchises, and good luck. Like, that's a lot of pressure. Like Lion King and Star Wars. Like, that's intense.
Favreau was doing.
Huh?
I didn't know Jon Favreau was doing that.
Yeah, he did The Lion King. He did this one. Obviously, he started the MCU with Iron Man.
We're happy to be out here getting that money.
Yeah, and he's happy for Spider-Man. He did The Jungle Book. He's an executive producer for almost every single Marvel movie, basically. So, it's pretty interesting. Jerry, do you have any thoughts? You were very quiet.
David Dobrik.
Honestly, I'm just taking everything in. I don't really have any expectations, going into Mandalorian or any of the things that are coming out of Disney Plus. I kind of feel like that's kind of Disney's playground, and that's why they're doing it as shows instead of full-out movies, especially with all the mishaps that have been happening recently. I feel like if anything does good on Disney Plus, then it can be turned into a movie. And
Ooh, that's interesting.
That's just my take on it.
So, do you think if The Mandalorian does really well, gets a couple seasons, that they'll make him a movie?
I feel like Disney Plus is the testing ground, but I don't think they'll take it right off as a movie.
No, yeah, I mean, after like maybe like 4 seasons, they'll announce like, oh, he's gonna get his own little.
Yeah. Something like with the Naruto, after 5 seasons, they're like, all right, we'll do a Naruto episode or a movie.
Right.
Instead
Like
of,
like The Walking
hour
Dead.
long. It's-
The Walking Dead's been out forever and still not over, and they're making a movie.
Yeah, and they've removed like half of their main characters from the show.
Except Rick is coming back.
He's not coming back to the show. He's
It's
just gonna
coming
be in
back,
the movie.
yeah, in the movie,
Yeah.
which is weird.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't know.
Curious to see how that goes.
I haven't paid
I don't
attention
know.
to that series.
So,
in a
like,
while.
obviously, why Bob Iger came out and said the whole reason why they made Disney Plus is so that they don't have to license their characters out and their properties out to other live streaming, other like studios to make these things, and like Daredevil with Netflix sort of situation. Like they can do whatever they want with their characters, their properties, on their like they don't have to pay any fees or anything like that, and like like you said, it's their playground. They can do whatever they want, and no one can stop them. Which I feel like finally, I feel like I feel like Disney has learned a lot from Marvel technically, with Marvel getting their characters back and be like, okay, we're playing with our characters. Look, we built this universe.
You
Let's
mean
do
Disney
this.
getting their characters back?
You know what I mean? And crap.
I was say they're really good at defending their characters. I mean, that Mickey Mouse is going to go for free. What's it called? Royalty free eventually. But they're going to be keep on changing that law,
Yeah, I don't
dumping
think.
that money into those lawyers and
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
That's what I'm saying. They'll figure out a way.
Bro, Mickey Mouse
Kiss
still
up.
makes them millions of dollars. It's not gonna happen.
Are you kidding? My brother's in love with that.
Exactly.
I love Mickey Mouse.
But it's weird how they can able to do that, change laws accessible to, as is my take.
So I'm excited for Mandalorian. I do think it is a number one reason why I'm gonna get Disney Plus, besides having everything Disney on there at my fingertips. That includes Marvel, Pixar, all that kind of stuff. This is, as new content, this is definitely super exciting. Especially how it just looks amazing. Each episode has a movie's budget. Like that's insane by itself.
Yeah.
Like that's
I
crazy.
was pretty surprised about that, so I'm expecting big things. That's all I can
Oh
say.
yeah, I mean, if you even look at it, if you told me this was a movie from the trailer and not a show, I would believe you 100%.
Oh yeah.
Like that's insane. Like they're not doing the whole like CW DC TV show where the costumes look cheesy and like stuff like that. This is like intense. This is really good. I'm excited. Someone asked.
Well, I feel like they have to. Everybody's chasing after to be that new Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to get those viewers. Like,
Well,
all right,
yeah, like just
it was
like
Lost. It was Lost. Everybody fantasized about Lost.
Well, like it's like
And then it was
how
Game
everyone's
of- I
trying
don't
to
know, it was
copy
Game of
Marvel
Thrones
right
or
now with the universe. Everyone's trying to build their own universe with movies, but it's not working out for anyone except for Marvel right now. And so it's like Disney's like, okay, well, we're gonna start with our TV shows. Like Game of Thrones was really good, but Game of Thrones is over. Someone asked, do you think they'll bring back Boba Fett? I don't think they'll bring back Boba Fett, but
I feel like that was
they're gonna
what made Game of
reference-
Thrones so good. Is because we knew eventually it was going to end.
right.
And there's so many few things that you know is going to end. They just keep on prolonging. Like Star Wars, you know, there's no end because it's a universe.
Yeah, it's huge. It's massive.
Or Game of Thrones, you know, it's a man that created 7 books, 8 books, 9
Yeah.
books almost right now.
I mean, with Star Wars, they could, with The Mandalorian, maybe like after, I don't know, 7 seasons, they could end a story, but they can move on to another story with Star Wars. And that's what's so great about it, is that they can just go on to new, different, like I guarantee Mandalorian's going to do great. Maybe give it, at the end of the 2nd season, they'll announce maybe 1 or 2 more Star Wars shows about something else, just because it's going to do so well. But yeah, it's going to be cool. I don't think, with the comment, I don't think they'll bring back Boba Fett, obviously, because he's dead. Well, is he dead, Christian? Because isn't there that whole thing about him not being dead?
Nothing that's canon.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. They could bring back Boba Fett. That would be a shocker. But, like, as a
I
retired...
seen something on Reddit saying how Mace Windu,
Yeah.
his name is Mace Windu, and he flew out a window.
um,
Oh, it was hilarious to me.
It'd be really cool if, like, at the last episode, to like keep you on your toes, they revealed like his mentor or whatever is actually Boba Fett. Like, but like he's injured and he's old, kind of like a Batman Beyond sort of thing.
I will say, I'll be surprised if he doesn't know Boba Fett.
Well, obviously they're gonna reference Boba Fett and Jango. I guarantee it, because that'll just make all the fans go hee hee. I don't know. I'm excited. Any last thoughts about the Mandalorian? Are you gonna watch it when it comes out? You're gonna get Disney Plus.
I'm gonna get Disney Plus, but I was gonna get it anyways, just because I want to watch all those old kid movies.
Right.
Like, that's what I'm excited for, honestly.
I'm excited for all the like Toy Story and there's Bo Peep thing. I can go on forever about that.
Yeah.
Marvel movies, everything. Colton Jerry.
I'm just gonna hang out with my little brother and sister.
Oh, no, I mean, I'm kind of broke, so I don't know if I'll be able to get it right away. But
I mean, it's super cheap. It's like what, $4-5 a month?
I think it's $7.
Hold on, it's way cheaper than Netflix. I know that.
I got plenty of other monthly bills, but it'll definitely be something that's on my list and something that I'll be definitely trying to get.
Yeah,
it might
$7 a month. What you, Jerry?
I probably will wait a while. I'm not on the Disney hype train as much as some people, so I kind of like to sit back and wait till something really grabs my attention before I jump into it. Definitely, I'm gonna watch it eventually. If it does good right out the box, I'll probably get it.
Right.
But I kind of like to wait and be cautious, because I feel like if you hype something too much, either it's gonna flop and you're gonna be upset, or you're personally gonna hype it so much that it's just not gonna.
It's not gonna meet. Yeah.
Especially being Disney and especially being Star Wars, there's so much you could do, and if they don't hit the targets that you want them to hit, then you're probably just gonna psych yourself out.
Yeah. Cool. So, yeah, excited. We'll see how it goes. We'll make another live stream and we'll do a review about it. I guess whoever watches it, probably me and Christian, when it first comes out. No, it looks so good. All right, so we're gonna move on to brand new news that I think pretty sure it came out today or yesterday. It is so the Game of Thrones Star Wars whole controversy thing that's going on. So the creators of Game of Thrones, not like the book, but like the show,
the writers,
the writers and stuff like that. So they were signed on to oversee and help with the new Star Wars trilogy. That's supposed to have nothing to do with Skywalker, nothing with that. And I gotta check, but originally I think it was Rian Johnson. Was he still doing it? I don't think Rian Johnson is doing his trilogy anymore. Yeah, no, it's not happening because obviously of what he did with The Last Jedi. So originally Disney announced that they're going to do another Star Wars trilogy after this one, after The Rise of Skywalker. They're going to wait a few years and then start it, which is smart, because if they just do it right away, no one's going to be excited. It was going to have nothing to do with The Rise of Skywalker. No one knows what time period it was going to take place in, but all we knew is that it was going to be a new trilogy, and it was going to make fans super happy. From my thoughts is, I'm thinking they're going Old Republic sort of thing, where they're going like the origins of the Jedi, like when the Jedi were like ruling, not like the prequels, but like big time.
Well, those writers are known for Game of Thrones, which is really just a big soap opera.
Right.
It's going to be something with that, where there's a lot of dramatic character depth, where it's characters, or where you have to like really get into them and understand them, and where they're, you have to understand.
Right.
yeah, it gets confusing with Game of Thrones because there's so many character types, and you remember little things, and then you see it pop up later, and it's like, oh, I forgot about that character. That's like a trait that he has.
Right. So
So I don't know if they would bring that in, but that would be excitingly and amazing if they do. Because
Right.
all we get is Darth Vader is angry because he loses his wife.
So I'll just read the report so that people that don't know about what happened can be caught up. So in a new report from Deadline, the Game of Thrones creators have revealed that they're no longer attached to the upcoming Star Wars trilogy. Intended to explore an all-new corner of the Star Wars universe, the writers claim in a statement provided to the trade their new exclusive deal with Netflix is a major proponent of the Switch. The first movie in the Pairs trilogy was scheduled to release in 2022. Like I said, they're going to wait a while, and it's unclear if the trilogy dates will be postponed or replaced by a new creative team. They said, "We love Star Wars," the duo said in their statement. When George Lucas built it, he built us too. Getting to talk about Star Wars with him and the current Star Wars team was a thrill of a lifetime, and we will always be indebted to the saga that changed everything. There are only so many hours in a day that we felt we could do justice to both Star Wars and our Netflix projects, their statement continued. So we are regretfully stepping away. So just with that, I'll continue the rest in a second. But side note, with the Rise of Skywalker, George Lucas does have his hands in it. He is with J.J. Abrams helping create that one, and he's also, I'm pretty sure, he's helping create the next trilogy as well. So that's pretty cool. So I kind of I have respect for these guys because basically what they're saying is we have too much respect for Star Wars, and we can't put all our time towards it, so we don't want to put any of our time at all. Basically,
Yeah,
which
they
is
stretched their time too thin. Everybody wanted them as soon as Game of Thrones was over.
yeah, and it's good for them, to be honest, because if I was put on a project to do Star Wars and other projects, like that's a lot to put on, especially just even if it's just two guys. That's a lot, because obviously they're going to be creating their own stuff, and they're going to want to do what they want to do, because they just got out of Game of Thrones, so they were doing stuff for it wasn't like for them, it was for a franchise, for a property. Now they can make whatever they want for Netflix.
That if it failed, they also dodged a really good bullet.
Yeah.
Because they were on ice already from the ending of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and so that's the other thing that fans brought up is that not everyone saw, but if you don't know, I won't spoil it in case you're watching it, but not a lot of people are happy with the ending of Game of Thrones. Especially the last couple episodes of the last season. And I had a couple friends that watched it, and they were not happy when they came to work. And it's because of these two. So it's also like, do we really want them in Star Wars? If they did that, it's like, it's iffy because, they did some great things, but also they did some bad things. So it's like, where do you draw the line? And I don't know. It's interesting. Obviously, from what they from their statement with George Lucas and the Star Wars team and everything, they're working on this hardcore on this next trilogy, which is pretty exciting. So I'm excited to hear about that. I don't know, Christian, if you could have a Star Wars movie made by these guys, Game of Thrones style, do you think it would be good?
Game of Thrones style?
Yeah.
It would be hard. I don't know, because they just feel like Game of Thrones at that point. It just like Game of Thrones and sci-fi.
Right.
Because they have swords and everything like that, and lightsabers and stuff. I don't know, it just feels like the same thing, just a different skin.
Right.
If they try to do it that way. So I don't know if I would be happy with that, exactly.
So, continuing with the statement, or with the article, Lucasfilm's boss, Kathleen Kennedy, also released a statement about the change, saying she hopes the two can come back to the franchise before too long. David and Dan, that's their names, are incredible storytellers, the producer wrote. We hope to include them in the journey forward when they are able to step away from their busy schedule to focus on Star Wars. After a final Game of Thrones season left fans and critics alike ranting about the decisions of the creative teams, the pair left HBO and Warner Bros. For a massive overall deal with Netflix. Initial reports suggest the deal could be worth upwards to 9 figures.
What is the deal? What are they?
So I think they're making their own movies. I'm pretty sure Netflix originals
Oh,
for
okay,
them.
okay. I'm
Um,
excited for that to see what genre and what
yeah.
they're going to do.
Um,
I feel like they're modern. They're going to do something in modern time. Knowing that.
so this is what they said about their new deal. We've had a beautiful run with HBO for more than a decade, and we're grateful to everyone there for always making us feel at home. Over the past few months, we spent many hours talking to Sydney Holland and Peter Friedlander, as well as Ted Sarandos and Scott Stuber. We remember the same shots from the same 80s movies. We love the same books. We're excited about the same storytelling possibilities. Netflix has built something astonishing and unprecedented, and we're honored they invited us to join them. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's a loss or, if it's like, I don't know if it's good or bad. And also, who would you want to bring on to do the next Star Wars trilogy? Like, I don't know.
As a director,
As like creative control director, like in general, because that's basically what they were. They were directing, but they were also like in creative control of what's going to happen. So, like writing wise, everything. So,
yeah, I don't really have a say on really who they. Disney's pretty good with picking, so I can't really knock them.
They
on
are.
that.
They just throw Jon Favreau in. I don't know. Jerry, Colton, what do you guys think?
Is it just you and me?
Hello. Hello. There he is.
You go loud.
I really don't have that much of an opinion. I've been more on seeing rather than discussing the specifics of writers and directors and all this stuff. I'm more of like the general, I guess, like the layman, like moviegoer.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just go and see the movie. I don't really do a bunch of background research on, actors, directors, producers, stuff like that.
Right.
So, it's a major franchise. I'm expecting them to do it right, no matter who they get picked. Obviously, everyone's vision is a little bit differently, but since we're not in a parallel universe where we're seeing 20 different versions of a movie, I think we're just gonna get the best version we possibly can.
Okay. Colton, what do you think?
I'm kind of with Jerry for this one at least. This isn't really something I've been following too much. Honestly, right now, I'm not really thinking next trilogy of Star Wars movies because I guarantee it's a long ways away. So I don't really have too much to say. I mean, I agree with you that I think it's very respectable for them to, not to use the same exact word, to respect something enough to like say, oh, well, we can't commit all of our time to this, so we're not going to like put half effort in on something that we know a lot of people care about. I think that's something that a lot of people should be looking at. Not that it's always an option, but there's definitely like things that have come out where you can tell like they weren't all the way in it. So I think as far as that goes, that's very, I think it's very humbling for a lot of people, and it's very nice to see someone willing to admit that like we can't put all our time into this, so we're not gonna like give something that's a half effort to you guys,
Yeah.
But unfortunately, other than that, I don't really have much else to say because it's not something I've been following too much. I kind of forgot there was another trilogy planned after the Skywalker series ends, to be honest. I'd really just been reading up on Mandalorian and then just kind of like keeping up with what Rise of Skywalker's got going on. But other than that, as far as Star Wars goes, I really haven't been doing much except looking into stuff about that new game they got coming. So
um, Brandon says, "Guys, what if they reboot the Star Wars Christmas special?" Um, Hold on. I thought I saw something about Jon Favreau saying he wanted to do something about that. Um,
bro,
so
I'm pretty sure if anyone mentions that in public, George Lucas will like assassinate.
oh, man.
Even though you can find it on YouTube,
Do you
I'm
think they
sure it
should?
makes him
Do you think
grimace.
Do you think they'll put it on Disney Plus?
No, I think it
No.
should be with what George Lucas wants, and I think it should just be erased from history because it's god awful. It's worse than Ryan Johnson's version of Star Wars.
Okay, so I feel like we've talked enough about Game of Thrones and stuff like that. There's not really much to talk about with this. I feel like final thoughts is that I give them, credit for backing out, for not being able to give them their full attention to a franchise that needs full attention. Um, and good luck to them on their Netflix stuff. Maybe I'll watch it. I probably won't even know it's theirs, to be honest, if I watch it. um, yeah, so just a quick summary out of all the Star Wars stuff. Uh, what are you guys most excited for the most? The next movie, The Mandalorian, or the future of Star Wars, where it's not going to be Skywalker stuff. It's going to be maybe original stuff, or maybe touching with the established universe. What do you guys?
I don't know. Like I said, I've been following their books. A lot of their book series have been making me happy. Just the Admiral Thrawn series and stuff like that, where it's like more of a drama. I've been liking that.
I'm excited for the Fallen Order video game.
Oh yeah, that too. I already got that pre-order. I'm excited.
So I'm excited for that too.
Ready.
The only thing I don't like is that you can't cut off limbs.
I think the character design looks kind of goofy.
I think it'll be good.
It's like a 15-year-old.
I'm iffy about it because of who's making it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
out of what we talked about today, definitely The Mandalorian is what I'm excited to see, just because it's something new, something that they can. I feel like they don't feel as restricted, and I don't think they feel like, because it's not as well known of a property, they don't feel like fans are going to be like, we hate you now because you changed this, because there's not really much they can change because it's a brand new film, at least adaptation of something.
Right. Christian? Hello?
Say what?
Were you going to say something?
Honestly, just forgot what I was thinking of something else.
Well, I'm just excited in general. I have a new video coming up tomorrow. It's me and Sonia. We go on a trip to Galaxy's Edge, and there's no one there, so the park was dead. So,
did you get a lightsaber?
No, but I want to so bad.
Bro, them boys expensive.
It's worth it. No, it's worth it. It's not cheap material. It's just like metal, and like it is 100% worth it. Like
But then I look on not on Facebook. I look on this website that my friend sent to me, and they got some really nice ones that are not like official ones, of course. They're like light swords or whatever. But
I want to play that VR lightsaber game. That's what I want to do.
The Vader Immortal or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Sure, I don't know. I just know you play with lightsabers.
Hey, give me $10. Give me $10. We can get it on. We can get it on Oculus.
No, I already have it. We can come over.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah, I have both of them. I played both of them already. I live streamed both of them.
You can go check out Christian's channel. It's Let's Be Cool.
Yeah, sure. It has nothing on it.
With the lightsaber.
I usually just do Twitch nowadays. Honestly.
The lightsaber, from what I was told and from being there, everyone says that the experience of building your lightsaber is worth the money by itself. Like,
yeah, that's what
it's like it gives you goosebumps, like what you do. I'm trying to avoid videos of it because I want to just experience it.
Same.
But I will tell you something I did learn from a friend
I
of
just know
mine.
when I go, I would be spending a lot of money. I'd be buying the
Didn't they, like-
lightsaber, the
Oh, yeah.
$40
Didn't they change-
cocktail. I was like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Didn't they change the names of food for like 3 hours?
Yeah, well, they changed the Star Wars like unique names from some of the foods in Docking Bay 7 or 7.
And then like immediately changed it back?
Yeah, because there's backlash. So much backlash. But something I'll tell you, Christian, that a little secret that not a lot of people know. I learned this from my friend Mike.
Mike.
If you want, so obviously you get you build your sabers. You get the kyber crystal. You put the kyber crystal inside everything, like you're actually building a lightsaber because you are.
Yep.
If you want a yellow saber, you buy the kyber crystal from the outpost or the trading post or whatever. I forget. I actually have my my guide right here. My traveler's guide.
Why do you want a yellow saber?
I don't want a big pea sword.
I want a yellow saber, I think.
No.
Hey, you can get a yellow saber. You can be Brandon's character in the Star Wars. In the Star Wars short film we made.
Can fight Debo together.
Oh man, where is it? What is it called? Something Christian. I don't know if you know. I have the alphabet for
Oh, the writing.
yeah, to know how to read the store names and stuff like that here. So if you want to learn that with me, because me and Jerry are gonna learn it.
I'm not that much of a fan. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities.
I
Yeah,
barely
bro,
understand English.
Bro, unless they got stuff from the books, I don't really care.
They do.
I barely understand English. So hold on, let's get this understood. I'm barely getting grasp on English.
Christian,
Another language is not good.
your mind's gonna be blown, Christian, when we gotta all go. Brandon already wants to go. Jerry wants to go. It's just we gotta do a big trip. A big trip. We'll vlog the whole thing. We'll post it. It's amazing. I will say, bring like $500 or $1,000.
Bro,
Because-
I just think I'm gonna have just 1,000.
I'm saying like merchandise. I'm talking about Christian. Because listen, buddy, oh my gosh, the Jedi robes are like amazing. Like I want them so bad.
No, if I go, they're gonna get all my money.
But it was cool. Back you can buy the yellow kyber crystal and you bring it to where you build the lightsabers, and you tell them, and then it's super cool. It's like unique little experience.
My friend went to the Halo outpost in Orlando.
Oh really?
And he said there was a whole bunch of stuff you could buy there, like the needler and like just a whole bunch of random nerdy stuff. And I was like, man, you have no idea how much money I would have dropped if I went there.
I'm
I'm
excited.
trying to stop myself from buying stuff that's just gonna sit.
I want things that sit.
I've done that.
So do I.
Listen, I've done that far too much. I have an
Um,
entire desk full of stuff.
I don't. I have nothing. I literally moved to Michigan
Oh,
in
my
a
room
suitcase.
my room is filled.
I only moved with a suitcase, and I still live in one suitcase.
I
have
pretty much
nothing.
only buy like posters.
Yeah, I don't ever buy anything. I've started to learn to buy stuff for myself.
Oh, I
besides-
buy plenty of stuff. Don't get me wrong. That's why I have no money. But just
I buy plenty of food. That's where all my money goes. Is
pretty
food.
much, yeah.
Oh god, it's such a hassle. But I'm excited to see you guys try blue milk and green milk. I love blue milk.
What
I
is
forgot
this?
that
Is
was a
this
thing.
diet milk? Or is it
No, so it's like
diet milk
it's
with,
like a
honey
mix.
in the milk?
It's like a mix of smoothie and a milkshake, sorta.
Ah.
Yeah, it's very
Are
unique.
those not the same thing? Just different
No,
densities?
no, I mean like it's fruity, but it's like a milkshake. It's interesting.
My favorite. So how much does it cost?
It's super cheap. I think it was
Or
only
like $12.
no,
I was gonna say,
like
super cheap.
4 or 5.
I was gonna say, you ever see the Pulp Fiction?
So you mean
where
like-
it's a milkshake?
Yeah, I know.
Milkshake?
I want to know $5. I don't want to know what a $12 milkshake tastes like.
So you mean like super cheap for Disney?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. I mean, like it's cheaper than butterbeer, and it.
Butterbeer ain't all that great anyway. I'm gonna just say it.
All right,
And you can make it at home too.
guys. I just want to let you know that Colt will no longer be part of the live stream.
But I also want to go there to buy a wand.
I want to do the whole
Bro,
experience.
you gonna drop like
I'm
$3,000
telling you,
Christian
I'll
works,
do it.
boy. Christian works. That's all he does.
I get that 16
I do
hours.
too. I don't got $3,000 to spend on wands and lightsabers and robes.
Yeah, but Christian gets paid well. All right, let's move on to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Going back to personal stuff. Jerry, are you excited to go to Galaxy's Edge?
Honestly, yeah, but it's not like the biggest thing for me.
Right.
I think that it's cool and it's, you know, something to definitely experience. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to be there like 1,000 times, so I'm not too hyped. I just know it's
I'm a big
one
Star
of
Wars
many
fan, and
trips.
I haven't gone yet.
Bro, how long do you think it'll be before someone tries to make a Minecraft theme park?
Oh,
I say
give it 7 years. Give it 7 years.
I say
Microsoft. I don't think has sold anything.
no. What I say,
They have Legoland, so you know.
No, that's totally different. What I'm
Legoland's
saying
kind of crappy.
is
Roblox World.
Well, Legoland's for kids, 100%.
Acting like they would.
That and
You're acting like
men.
if they made a Minecraft theme park, they would not gear it
Hold
towards
on.
children.
That's what Minecon was.
Let me
yeah.
speak.
Never.
I'm telling you, there's probably a high possibility of it happening, depending on how Microsoft sees how well Nintendo Land goes. Because the original concept for Universal's Epic Universe, the new theme park, was going to have a World of Warcraft area, a Super Nintendo Land area, a Lord of the Rings area, and it's going to be basically like video games and fantasy. So if it does really well, I can see Microsoft being like, hey, here's the theme park licensing, stuff like that, if you guys want to do something with it. Because video game theme parks, I guarantee, are going to be the next future for licensing properties at theme parks. Because, I mean, we already got almost everything
like
for movies.
Bro, Christian's gonna be like 75 years old going to a Halo theme.
Are you kidding me? Hell yeah.
Dude, if they made the ring, like you like all of a sudden you're on Halo.
Halo anything and I'm down.
I mean, I'm sure eventually theme parks are gonna be like VR
Oh, it's gonna be amazing.
or like AR, augmented reality.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're gonna end it here. We're going off on a bunch of stuff now. So yeah, I'm excited for the future of Star Wars. And I think one little quick thought I'll say is that I want another Star Wars story movie. Like, I liked them. I liked Solo. I liked Rogue One. Give us something else. Like, I liked it. Give us another Rogue One type of movie. Like, I don't know. Like, I like those little stories, the side stories.
Yeah, I really enjoyed those too. And that's what most of the comic books are. Like, I'm reading a comic book where it's about a group of clones that is like Darth Vader's like squadron that he sends out to do stuff.
Right.
And each one has like different armor.
Like Inferno Squad in Battlefront 2.
No, those are.
Well,
agents.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
in that light, like there's just a special squad.
Yeah, somewhat. Or they're just like random clone or troopers. Yeah.
I'm
The
excited.
commander is like super like asthmatic about everything. He loves it.
I know Wesley is obsessed with clone troopers, and you know what? Oh my gosh, there we go. Next Star Wars story, something about clone troopers. That would be so cool. Like them hunting down
100%.
Jedis, like the Last Jedi's, Order 66. Boom. There you go.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I would say like a good movie about like a squadron of them,
Right. It'd be so.
like almost like a war movie. I don't know.
Yeah. They could do. Yeah. That'd be cool.
Star Wars horror movie. That'll be the day.
I mean, they're doing a horror movie for Marvel. So
Yeah, we'll see what they define as horror. I'm interested to see.
I feel like just
Horror
jump.
nowadays have kind of become just
Well,
thriller,
Disney-
so we'll see.
I don't think it's thriller. I think it'll be intense. Like it'll give you anxiety, and it'll have like a couple like little jump scares, but not like with like a
Bro, I don't
creature
need
or a
any more
monster.
anxiety.
So, like Christian said, like the squadron is like held down somewhere in an outpost, and they got to get out by a certain time. But it's like, oh my gosh, are they gonna get out? Oh my gosh, oh, this is happening. Oh my god, what are you doing? Blah 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 blah, sort of thing.
Yeah,
Like,
that's not horror.
yeah, I know, but it's like Disney's version of horror, and they'll just make it dark and gritty. I'm excited. We'll have to plan a Galaxy's Edge trip pretty soon, especially just to see like your guys' reactions to it, because man, it is emotional when you walk in, and especially when you see the Millennium Falcon. Plus, all of us piloting the Millennium Falcon would be hilarious. Trying to work together, I feel like we'd get mad at each other pretty quickly. It would be fun. Do you guys have any?
Well, I know Disney owns Miramax,
Mm-hmm.
and Miramax releases a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I just looked it up. Halloween 2018.
Yep.
That's a horror movie.
Yep.
They released Pulp Fiction.
They just don't put the put the Disney
logo.
name.
Kill Bill 1
on it.
and 2. So
But it's different.
These are Disney movies. They're just not released with the Disney brand.
It's a little different because it's Star Wars is the name, and
and Disney's
they can't be like, oh, Miramax Star Wars. Everyone's like, no, that's Disney. Come on. That's like if they were like, we're gonna do a dark Buzz Lightyear live action gritty movie by Miramax. It's like, no, Buzz Lightyear's Disney, dummy. So it'd be cool. Excited. We'll plan a trip. I don't think there's anything else we should talk about. Any last thoughts about anything?
No, just save it for next stream.
Cool. Sounds good. All right. Thank you guys for watching our Star Wars news update. We'll try to keep on top of these things, even if it's just a couple people or one person. We'll just keep pumping them out. We hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks to the people that joined and commented and interacted. And subscribe, like, ring the bell, and we'll talk about more stuff in the future. Thanks for joining us.